we are now in an age where people say the American flag is racist. Like, I mean, and that to me is just absolutely crazy. And I think a big portion of this has to do with manhood. I was asking my team before this, I said, what is it about boxing and the UFC that we never hear any wimpy, whiny, protesting, kneeling people that work for the UFC or fight for the UFC or boxing, and yet you go to other sports like basketball and football and there's a lot of it. What is the difference here?
Yeah, I think the difference is the way that we're bred and came up. You know, these football and basketball players, they're silver spoon fed. They're getting Bentleys coming right out of high school, you know, like everything that we get over in the UFC or MMA in general, as the MMA is the sport, is we had to earn it the hard way. You know, we're responsible for our own actions. You know, we don't make excuses for what happens. We go out there and we take responsibility for a loss or for a win, and that's not how basketball players are. They'll blame it on their players, they'll blame it on their coaches, they'll blame it on, you know, people because of this and that or climate or conditions. But, you know, at the end of the day, fighting, it's a one-on-one, man-on-man sport, and it's unlike any other sport. So
yeah, I actually think I just saw that they were protesting, and I'm not making this up, the word owners now of teams. They no longer in the basketball want to be called, they don't want them to be called team owners because ownership implies slavery. And I'm just thinking, you guys sound like such little wimps. The word owner, you can own a Subway shop. I mean, like literally you're trying to make this all about slavery now. Like people never owned anything else other than slaves. And I'm thinking that you're right. It's because you live in a lap of luxury. And that's how I feel about Americans today. We're overprivileged. We're just overprivileged. When you have time to be crying about words and vocabulary and your feelings and you're getting paid millions, you are an overprivileged, spoiled brat, period. They are trying to make it seem like now to be a man, you have to be a woman.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What is that going to do to families down the line?
Make them soft.
Make them soft, yeah. I mean, that's really it. I mean, you don't have any kids now.
No kids, single.
No, single. So. What are you going to do when you have kids in this environment?
Man, I think that's why I've been scared to even have kids.
Right, right.
It's just, I don't want them to be raised like this, you know, and grow up like this, and this, you know, this safe space era where, you know, people, they're soft, you know, and they don't want to stand up for what they believe, and they don't want to speak their mind, what they think, because they're scared of how other people are going to judge them for what they think. And really, it should be agree to disagree. I could sit down with someone in a room right now and we could have a conversation. Even if you don't believe in what I'm wearing and you don't have the same opinions as me, we could still sit down and have a chat and talk about things. But that's not how the world is these days. It's a crazy world that they're talking about normalizing things like gender change, but they want to demonize things like the president or guns or our rights.
Right. I mean, actually, under their new world order, you and I can get into the ring together. All you have to do is you have to self-identify.
Exactly.
Right? Colby Covington self-identifies as a woman,
yeah,
and you would be allowed to pummel me in a ring. And they are calling that progress.